Today on Larry King Now, actor Michael Shannon on his roles in two big fall films. They're talking about Oscars, too, huh?
Oh, geez. That would be something. It was fun the last time I went.
On his rumored role in Batman vs. Superman.
It's the same thing like in the first one with Jor-El, Russell Crowe's character. Is kind of like a ghost, you know? So I guess I'm a ghost, kind of.
Plus, so you worked with Ben Affleck in that.
I did, yeah. I made the mistake once of calling him Benji. We were all in a van. We'd been shooting all day. We were all very tired. And I said, "How you doing, Benji?" And he looked at me like I had crossed the line.
It's all next on Larry King Now. Welcome to Larry King Now. Our special guest, Michael Shannon, best known for his Academy-nominated role in Revolutionary Road, his role on HBO's Boardwalk Empire, and as General Zod in Man of Steel. He's one of those rare actors that has such an unwavering talent that an audience knows that if he's on screen, the project is almost guaranteed to be better for it. Soon you can see him in the critically acclaimed new film, 99 Homes, co-starring Andrew Garfield. That's out September 25th. And Freeheld, co-starring Julianne Moore and Steve Carell. That's in theaters October 2nd. Pretty busy.
Yeah, I've been running around like a, what's the term, chicken with the head cut off?
Yeah. Now you got films coming out in the next couple weeks. One centers around real life, both centers around real life issues, right?
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
99 Homes is relevant to the housing crisis.
Yes, 99 Homes was inspired by the foreclosure crisis in Florida. Our writer-director, Ramin Barani, went down there and did some very extensive research and put together this beautiful script that I think puts a very human face on what was going on down there.
Who do you play?
I play a real estate broker named Rick Carver, and I have the unfortunate task of doing evictions for foreclosures.
You dispossess people.
Yeah, I'm the guy that comes to your door and tells you got to go. So I'm obviously not everybody's favorite person, but I evict Andrew Garfield's character, Dennis Nash, from his home, and I feel kind of bad about it, so I take him under my wing and I try and show him the ropes of the real estate world, which is a pretty dodgy world.
So he becomes an agent?
He becomes like a kind of a protege of mine. You know, throughout the film, he's trying to figure out whether he wants to do this or not, whether he can stomach it, you know.
Why is it called 99 Homes?
I think it's an allusion to the 99% movement, you know, the feeling of being disenfranchised and this powerlessness that people are trying to overcome. Yeah.
Let's watch a clip from 99 Homes. They're talking about Oscars, too, huh?
Oh, geez. Well, that would be something. It was fun the last time I went. Yeah.
What about Freeheld? That's Julianne Moore, that's Steve Carell, Ellen Page. Mm-hmm. That deals with another big social issue, right?
Yes, it's a really beautiful story, actually. It's based on there was a short documentary, it won Best Short Documentary at the Oscars a few years back. And it's about a woman named Laurel Hester. She was a police detective in New Jersey, and she was gay, but she kept it a secret from her coworkers. And eventually she had a very significant relationship in her life, fell in love, and she also contracted cancer and was dying. So she wanted to leave her benefits to her partner. They were living together at the time. They had a house together, and the Ocean County freeholders, it's like a town hall committee kind of thing. They wouldn't sign off on it. They wouldn't let her do that. So it was about her struggle to overcome that verdict.
And you play?
I play her partner on the force, a fella named Dane Wells, real fella that I got to meet, who was her partner and friend for years and years, and she kept it a secret from him too. And when he found out about it, at first it was a little difficult, but eventually he becomes one of her strongest allies to help her get her benefits.
Is it tough to play a real person?
It's very intimidating. It was interesting in the case of Dane because I went to meet Dane and we are absolutely nothing alike. Like there's no way physically I could look like him, but he gave me his blessing right away. He's like, you don't need to worry about trying to be exactly like me. I just want you to tell the story. In a way, it's more intimidating if the person is, passed away, or, and you don't have the opportunity to talk to them at all. Then you really feel an obligation to get.
Have you had to do that?
Well, with Kuklinski, with Richard Kuklinski and the Iceman. Not that I probably would have wanted to sit down with him, but all I had to go on was the same interview that anybody else could watch that they played on HBO and the books. And Elvis, I played Elvis Presley.
That's coming out, right?
Who
plays Nixon? Kevin Spacey?
Kevin Spacey, yes. He's playing Nixon.
You do that scene, but you make a whole movie around that one?
Well, yeah, at the start of the movie, you see Elvis getting the idea to go to D.C. And it was not easy for him to get into the Oval Office. So you see him go through the whole process.
That was a great story.
Yeah, it is. And then, what's interesting about it is the actual time that they spent alone in the room together. There's no documentation of that. So it's even though it's a true, real event, it's kind of also an imaginary event. So, yeah.
Much more with the great Michael Shannon when we come back. Don't click away. Our guest is Michael Shannon. What do you think about gay and lesbian partners, the actual feeling that you can't get the medical rights and benefits? That's still an issue in 2015?
Yeah, I find it a little appalling, although I was very moved by the recent Supreme Court decision in favor of domestic partnership, and I think it's great timing. That this movie would be coming out the same year as that. One of my sisters is gay, and she has a very lovely family. She has a partner, and they've adopted 2 kids, and they're great parents. And I would never want my sister to be told that she couldn't have that.
Did your parents have any problem with it?
No, not really. I mean, I think there's a lot bigger fish to fry, honestly, much bigger problems.
Why do you care?
Yeah, right? If people are happy, they're happy. Yeah.
Switching gears, Batman versus Superman. Mm-hmm. Who are you?
Well, in Man of Steel, Superman very viciously cracks my neck and leaves me dead on the floor. So
how do you're not Zod?
It's the same thing like in the first one with Jor-El, Russell Crowe's character is kind of like a ghost, So I guess I'm a ghost, kind of.
So you are there as Zod.
Yeah.
You can tell us something. Come on. Have you shot is the film done?
Yeah. They I think they're doing all the digital effects and all that on it.
Do you have scenes just with Superman, or are you with Batman too?
I did not cross paths with Batman, no.
You recently told Vulture that your character, who was supposedly killed off in Man of Steel, has flippers. What is that?
I was being a little mischievous. Because honestly, it's an awkward situation because Warner Brothers is always like, don't talk about this, don't say anything.
But why? Why can you say something that entices you?
Well, that's, I guess, the pressure that I'm under in this situation sometimes leads me to say silly things like Zod has flippers, just to...
So you were kidding?
Yeah, it was a false, it was a red herring, as it were.
Is it different when you shoot something like that versus 99 Homes? Or as Anthony Quinn told me that when he plays a role, he gives it all, whether it's a Zorba Greek or...
Right.
Or whatever.
Yeah, for me, playing Zod in Man of Steel, even though the story is based on comic book or whatnot, I thought it was a very serious story. I thought it was a relevant story because you're looking at a civilization that exhausts all their planet's resources, and then they go off into outer space and try and find another planet to live on. I was like, this sounds eerily familiar. So, Zach demands a lot of work on his sets. You do a lot of very physical taxing work. There's a lot of training and fighting and all this, and so it's not like a glamorous thing, you know.
How was Affleck as Batman?
I think he's a no-brainer, perfect for it. You know, he's got the demeanor and definitely got the jaw. You know, so I think it was a good call. Yeah.
And we talked about Elvis and Nixon is going to be a big movie or a small movie.
I don't. Yeah, it's been okay. It's been purchased by Amazon, the company. Ted Hope is running their film division over there. So. But it's going to have a theatrical release. I think it'll also be something that you can get through Amazon. But it was the budget on it was I think about $8 or $10 million, something like that.
What's it like to play Presley? Did you imitate him?
I probably worked harder on that part than I have any other part I've ever done. I wanted to go beyond a simple kind of impersonation that you would see at like a party or something. And I spent a lot of time with Jerry Schilling, who was a very, very close friend of Elvis, and his book was actually kind of the impetus for the film being made. I think it's called Me and a Guy Named Elvis. And so I spent a lot of time with Jerry. We went to Memphis together. He took me to Graceland, Sun Studios. He even took me to Lauderdale Courts, which is where Elvis lived when he was a teenager. It was one of the first housing projects in America. And I watched endless amounts of footage and listened to interviews. I mean, I had an interview that Jerry gave me on the CD that I would listen to when I was on set. Anytime I wasn't shooting, I'd put it in my ear because I wanted to try and get the voice right. You know?
And Spacey get Nixon?
Oh yeah, definitely. He nailed it. Yeah, he's. I mean, he's very presidential these days.
And at that meeting, Elvis wanted to be deputized, right?
Exactly.
To
he wanted
fight drugs.
Exactly. He wanted to be a federal undercover agent at large. Yeah. And he actually also went and met with John Findlater, who was running the Bureau of Narcotics and Dangerous Drugs at the time. So we put that scene in there too.
It was an interesting day.
Yeah. Yeah, very much so.
Now, you're going to be in a movie directed by the fashion designer Tom Ford. Mm-hmm. He wants to do movies now?
It is such a great script. I don't know. You know, his first movie, Single Man, got a lot of acclaim. And
what is this one?
This one's called Nocturnal Animals.
Jake Gyllenhaal and Amy Adams?
Yes. And it's a really interesting story about Amy Adams plays an art dealer out in California. And an old boyfriend of hers from the past, who's a writer, sends her a book that he's written. He's finally finished his novel, and he sends it to her to read it. So it goes back and forth between her and her life, and then her reading this book and what's happening in the book. And the book is a thriller.
Is Jake the boyfriend?
Yes.
And you are?
Well, I play a character that's in the book. I play a police detective that's trying to help Jake solve a crime.
You have a diversified life, Michael.
Yeah, I know. It's great.
Up next, Michael is a great actor, but can he fool me in a game of two truths and a lie? You'll not want to miss this. Back in a moment. Michael Shannon's our guest. 99 Homes comes September 25th. Freeheld comes October 2nd. Then he'll be in Batman vs. Superman. Then he'll be in Elvis and Nixon. Then he'll be in the Recoming of Somebody. And then he'll be... Anyway, we're going to play in a little game here, Two Truths and a Lie. Michael's going to read off 3 things about himself. One of them is a lie. I have to guess what is the lie, right? Okay.
Yes.
First.
I was born in Lexington, Kentucky. I'm the oldest of 4 children. My mother was a lawyer, my dad a professor.
Mother lawyer, dad professor.
Well, actually, this is a very tricky one. It's actually I'm the oldest of 4 children because I am the oldest of 4 children, but I'm also the youngest of 3 children.
So
I'm my mother's oldest child and my father's youngest child.
I get it. So that was the lie.
And that was why because I was saying earlier about my sister, I was going to say my older sister, and I was like, oh, I can't say that, I'll screw up the game.
I thought you had another hidden
Yeah, you thought I was having
secret.
like an aneurysm or something.
Okay, next.
I never attended drama school. I had a small part in the movie Groundhog Day with Bill Murray. I had a small part in the movie What About Bob with Bill Murray.
I never attended drama school.
No, that's true. I never attended drama school. I learned in the rough and tumble streets of Chicago.
What is the lie?
I am not in the movie What About Bob. I wish I was.
That was funny.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right, next.
All right, you're gonna get this one. I can feel it. I was replaced by another actor after being cast in the movie Pearl Harbor. I played a crackhead in a movie called Chicago Cab. My zodiac sign is a Leo.
Why you know I'm going to guess this? All right, I'll say you were replaced by another actor in Pearl Harbor.
See, sir? I knew it. I knew it.
That's a lie.
That's a lie. No, they kept me on. They kept me on the whole 5 months.
So you worked with Ben Affleck in that?
I did, yeah. I made the mistake once of calling him Benji. We were all in a van. We'd been shooting all day. We were all very tired. And I said, "How you doing, Benji?" And he looked at me like I had crossed the line. Yeah.
All right, I did okay.
Yeah, but I didn't get blacklisted. The Hollywood blacklist. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to play a quick series of questions I'm going to throw at you.
Okay.
The first girl you kissed ever?
Oh, my God. Angela? She had red hair.
What city?
In Lexington. She was in my, I was in the Central Kentucky Youth Orchestra, and we were playing a concert. I remember she had a green dress on.
How old were you?
I was 15.
That's old now.
Yeah, I know. I'm old-fashioned.
You ever find out what happened to her?
I have no idea.
Your favorite role to date?
Curtis in Take Shelter, the movie I made. Yeah.
A role you turned down, wish you hadn't?
Oh, man. That's a tough one. I'd pass.
A superpower you'd like to have?
Teleportation.
If you could change one thing about the world?
Oh, man. We stop burning gasoline.
An actor or actress you'd like to work with?
Oh, man, I've worked with so many of my favorites. Kate Blanchett.
A crazy fan encounter?
Oh, man. Well, there was a guy, oh, no, I shouldn't say that. See, you get nervous about it because what if they hunt you down? And, you know, sometimes people like grab you and like kiss you or something. That's kind of.
Oh yeah, you've had that.
I hate that.
Historical figure you'd like to play?
Damn, these are tough questions. King Louis XIV.
Wow. The best thing about the industry you're in? What do you love about acting?
What do I love about acting? I think it's the fraternity of it. I mean, it's a real communal thing. You know, if you're a painter, you can go off by yourself and do a painting. If you're a novelist, you go off and do it by yourself. But it's a group effort, you know, and it's very moving. Sometimes when you're on a set and you just stop and look around at all the people.
You're all helping each other. You're all there with a common cause.
Exactly, and making big sacrifices to do so. And
what's the thing you like the least about it?
Well, I'm not sure I like the whole notion of how much you have to promote things. Sometimes it seems like, you know,
you don't like this.
But well, no, that's not true. This is different. But like. I like, for example, the way the awards are calibrated now, where you really have to go out and can't, like, it's like people are like have to beg to get an award or something. It just seems silly
ads
to me.
and junkets.
Yeah. It's like if you like the work and you think it's good, and then great, and if you don't, you don't.
What do you think of George C. Scott, who I knew very well?
Yeah.
Who hated award shows, hated awards.
Yeah.
He said the only way you should give an award is one actor played 5 actors who played the same part,
right.
directed by the same director, who did the best of those 5.
Exactly. Yeah, that's an interesting point because, every part has different demands, different requirements, and George C. Scott. You knew George C. Scott?
Oh, Hey.
Oh my God.
I knew George called me right before he died.
Oh my God.
He was scared of his, he had that heart problem. And
Yeah.
he drank a little too much, but he was a wonderful guy. Crazy Detroit Tiger fan, and a hell of an actor.
Oh yeah, one of the best.
Patton.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew a lot of guys. Anthony Quinn. I love actors.
Oh,
I love actors because every great actor I have met is intelligent. I never met a really good actor who I would say, doesn't know about the world,
Right.
doesn't think about people.
Well, and acting can be an education. It's like with these movies I got coming out. Like, if I wouldn't have done 99 Homes, I wouldn't have known about this as much about this crisis as I do. Or doing Freeheld and learning the story of Laurel Hester, it really opens your eyes to what's going on in the world.
Up next, we'll wrap things up with some fan questions from social media for Michael Shannon right after this. We're back with Michael Shannon. We'll have some social media questions, but first, do you miss Boardwalk Empire?
I had a real soft spot for Van Alden. He went through so much. He went through so much hell. But and it was sad the day that they
Wrapped?
Well, the day they,
Killed him?
Yeah. I felt that was a very strange day. But, the truth of the matter is I'm so busy, I don't have a lot of time to dwell on it.
Strange day because you didn't want him to die?
Yeah, I had this fantasy that, because I think Van Alden wanted to go off to the middle of nowhere and start a farm and just have his own secret life out in the country somewhere. And I actually told one of the writers this. I said, wouldn't that be a great way to see Van Alden out, like, tilling the fields or whatever? And
they didn't buy it.
They didn't do that. They blew my head off instead.
Do you keep in touch with any of the cast?
It's funny enough, I run into Steve from time to time in Brooklyn. His brother Michael lives in the same neighborhood with me in Red Hook. So.
You live in Brooklyn?
Yes, I live in Red Hook, Brooklyn, yeah.
By choice, obviously.
Yeah, we have a really nice spot. It's right on the water, and I can see the Statue of Liberty from my living room window.
You have family?
I have 2 kids, yeah. The 2 daughters, 7 and 1.5.
Red Hook was a tough area.
I know.
And I was a kid boy.
Yeah.
Manual Training High School.
Yeah. And then it went through, I think right before we got there, it was in a really bad place. But it just keeps getting more and more, like New York City, it happens all over.
You're not far from Barclays Center.
Yeah, I can walk over there.
Okay, some questions from fans on social media. Jack Donnelly on Facebook. What was it like for young Michael to work with Bill Murray on Groundhog Day?
It was amazing. One of the great things about that part is I really didn't have much to do. I only had a couple of lines, but because of the conceit of the movie, since it was the same day over and over again, we had to be there all the time, because I was sitting in the restaurant. So I was there for every scene they shot in the restaurant just in case they saw me in the background. So it was a great education to just get to sit there and watch Bill Murray do his thing every day. I was always biting my lip and trying not to crack up during takes. Yeah.
Kevin on the Larry King Now blog, what would you say is your dream role, the sort of part you wanted to play? Is there a part you've wanted to play, the kind of part? Or a movie you saw, or a theatrical piece that you love that you'd love to do?
Well, I'm getting the opportunity to play one of my dream roles this spring. I'm going to get to do Long Day's Journey into Night, play Jamie Tyrone, with Jessica Lange and Gabriel Byrne are playing the parents, and John Gallagher Jr. is playing Edmund.
I've seen that play twice. That's a 4.5-hour play.
It's a big one, yeah. But it's probably my favorite American play.
Where are you doing it?
It'll be in New York City, Roundabout Theater, American Airlines Theater.
How long you committed?
I think it's a 16-week run. I think it starts in March.
When do you go into rehearsal?
We'll start in February, start rehearsing.
That is a tough play.
Yeah. But I'm very excited to be doing it because my father used to live in New York City. He used to be an accountant at Price Waterhouse, and he would see Jason Robards do Eugene O'Neill on Broadway, and it was one of his favorite memories. So it's nice to follow in those footsteps.
Another guy I knew, Jason Robards.
Yeah, right?
At Sasha St. Pierre on Twitter, of all your roles, which costume did you most enjoy wearing? Aha.
Wow. Well, my character in 99 Homes is pretty well dressed. Rick Carver, he's pretty fancy. I like the Van Alden costumes were pretty amazing. I love my coat, my Van Alden coat, and all those old suits. They were made. Do you know this tailor Martin Greenfield in New York?
Oh yeah, I've read about it.
Yeah, it's legendary. I would go in there.
You get to keep any of them?
I didn't keep any of them. Maybe they're going to be at the Smithsonian or something. Who knows? Or Madame Tussauds.
Mitch on the Larry King Now blog. What is the one piece of advice you'd give to an aspiring actor?
Jeez Louise. You know, it's so mysterious to me how I wound up where I am. I wish I could explain it to somebody. I had the very good fortune, honestly, to meet some very brilliant writers early in my career and work on some world premieres that were very successful.
Is that luck? It's not luck, is it?
Yeah, I don't know. There's a fellow named Tracy Letts who was an actor, and then he started writing, and I did his first play, Killer Joe.
Whoa,
and,
tough play.
Yeah. I took that. We started in Chicago. We went to Great Britain. We did it in New York, and
did you
anyway,
play the McGahee part?
No. I played Chris. The
son?
In the movie, yeah, it'd be Emil Hirsch's part. Yeah, but
that's a wild play.
Yeah. So I guess the point would be to try and find a good writer to work with, because an actor without a good writer is...
It's all on the page, right?
That's 50-50, put it that way.
Alex Flores on Facebook. I just saw 8 Mile on HBO. What was Eminem like on the set?
He was so nice and very respectful. I didn't know what to expect. He had spent a long time getting prepared, and he was grateful that we were there, basically kind of helping him tell his story, you know. But yeah, between takes, he was a complete gentleman. Yeah.
Scott on the Larry King Now blog. What can you tell us about The Night Before and your role in it?
The Night Before, yeah, this is a Seth Rogen movie I have coming out in November. Seth Rogen, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Anthony Mackie. I had a lot of fun doing it. I was only there like 3 or 4 days, but I played their high school pot dealer, Mr. Green. They come see me to get their marijuana. So I had a really fun scene with each of them individually, and yeah, I've seen the little pieces of it. It's pretty funny.
Well, you're always working, aren't you?
Yeah.
This beard is not for a role.
No, this means I'm off the clock. You
Can't have
me
that
looking
in Long
like
Day's
this.
Journey.
No, I won't look this way. Either that or I'm playing Jesus.
And Heather on Larry King Now blog. Did your perspective on life change after becoming a father?
Oh, very much. Well, I think the biggest thing that changes is you're not the most important person in the world anymore.
Correct.
It's somebody else.
It's totally dependent on you.
Yeah, exactly. And you just I never stop thinking about them. They're always in the back of my mind, even if I'm on the road. Yeah.
Great having you with us.
Thanks, Larry. Thanks for having me.
I want to thank my guest, Michael Shannon. 99 Homes is out in theaters September 25th. Freeheld comes to theaters October 2nd. And remember, you can find me on Twitter at King's Things, and I'll be in New York next year to see Long Day's Journey, and I'll see you next time.